Hello, Rushback here again, and today I'm playing a bit of Team Deathmatch on Resistance. And by the way, Resistance is a fantastic map, and it's pretty much the perfect map for this gun I'm using here. And it's probably one of my favourite maps, to be fair. I really like Mission, really like this, and there's a few others. So yeah, try and get this map because it really is very good. Because it's quite plain, has a lot of hallways, a lot of long lines of sight. A lot of the maps are very close range now. There are no like wasteland maps or any really large maps, so that's good to see. But when you're using an assault rifle, you need that little bit of extra range, because if it's all close range, you might as well use a submachine gun because it's me better than that sort of thing. So the AK47, which is the gun I'm reviewing today, by the way, as you can see, and I'm raping with it here. By the way, I didn't have anything on this. This is the first time I literally just unlocked it. And this is the first time I actually used it, so I haven't got like that efficiency kick, giving it less recoil. So it looks pretty recoil in this video, but there is definitely less in real life. And yeah, so that's tip number one. If you well, when you eventually unlock this gun, I think it's 68. If you didn't know, definitely use kick as the proficiency. There is nothing else that really can give you that much of an advantage other than kick. And don't use a silencer, in my opinion, because it seems to take away a lot of the damage. I know it doesn't take damage, it takes away range, but I seem to struggle a lot more using the silencer in this game, and generally silencers in general in this game, it just seems to be a massive difference between using a silencer and not. Like, I think the only gun that can really stay immune to that fact is the UMP, because I still think it's overpowered. I mean, it was definitely overpowered in Modern Warfare 2, and it's definitely, maybe not overpowered, but it's the most dominant gun. I mean, you see at least 50% of the people online using UMPs, and I'm sure a lot of them in this game are using it too. And yeah, so if you haven't subscribed yet already, guys, and you're viewing this for the first time, I will be going over every single gun in the game. I understand that not all of you can play as much as myself, and you don't put the same amount of time into the game, and it may take you a while to even get to level 68, which is this gun here. So I'm basically here to show you the guns and to give you a view of the guns. So when you unlock the gun, or you want to know how good the gun actually is, I can be here. And apparently USP Akimbo kind of fails, which is an interesting one. Was that lag on my screen? But regardless, and I have the Reaper again. If you haven't used this Reaper, I mean, it's brilliant. I now understand that you can zoom in by using the left analog, not analog, the left trigger. But this Reaper is purely dominant. Maybe not the best thing for TDM because it's not really for that. But if you're playing like Domination or Team Deathmatch, no, Team Deathmatch fail. If you're playing like Domination or Headquarters or Capture the Flag, something with an objective. I mean, this thing's pinpoint accurate. So it's like having almost like a Predator missile that you don't follow, and obviously you can control it, but I do recommend like zooming in with it with the left analog because it makes it a lot easier. And yeah, I'll still pick up a lot of kills by using this. But anyway, we're not talking about that today. Yeah, the AK47, it doesn't really have too many rivals because I completely ignore stats, by the way. I'll have a look at the stats quickly here. So it says accuracy is quite low, fair enough. Damage is high, range is decent, fire rate's decent, and mobility is decent. But when you compare the AK47 in terms of the stats on the game to the rest, I mean, a bit is crap. I mean, I'm sorry, but the ACR apparently is pretty much the same damage as the AK47, but I think the ACR spits out freaking paper. I mean, I don't like the ACR in this game for some reason. I loved it in Modern Warfare 2, but I don't really get on with this game with the ACR purely because it doesn't seem to have the power. I mean, the G36 and even the M4 seem to be more powerful to me. And according to the stats, it has the same power as the AK-47, which in my opinion is just pathetic. But anyway, the AK-47 is the main rival in the assault rifles, and I say that's the XM901, purely because they're both fully automatic assault rifles, which most of them are. But the XM901 has a slower fire rate, maybe even the Scar L if it's in this category. But basically, they're more powerful assault rifles that have a slower fire rate. Now, slower fire rate, you may be thinking, well, that's crap. Well, no, slower fire rate is good for reserving ammo. It's good for remaining on target. I mean, if you've got a big, powerful weapon that has high recoil and high fire rate, you're just going to struggle to really keep it on target. So, if you're looking for something that's going to be dominant over a mid-range, because there's pretty much nothing that's going to beat a mid-range, and the clip I just did a minute ago really does show it. And because it has high power and good accuracy, as you can see, I'm beating a UMP at that sort of range. So the AK-47 is one of those really versatile, like fast-shooting guns, not fast-shooting, sorry, powerful guns. Like in Modern Warfare 2, there was the TAR that could do this, and obviously the AK-47. But it's dominant over mid-range, and you want to be careful on what maps you're using it on. I mean, this map works well, but on some of the maps, they're the longer ranges, and as you can see here, I mean, I do struggle to get that kill, but that shows the power. You want to try and keep this thing at mid-range. If you're shooting people long range, I mean, you're going to have a hard time because the recoil is quite a lot. So ultimately, The AK47 is a great gun. I'm going to give it a rush rating system, my rating system where I rate it out of 100. I'm going to give it a 75. I feel this gun's brilliant, but you really do have to make sure you're using it in the right circumstances, because if you're sort of person who's rushing around and keeping in that small zone, so you're in like a close quarter situation, I mean, you might as well use something like the UMP, the P90, or one of the fastest shooting assault rifles. They are going to be better close range. And if you're looking for something with a bit more range, so if you're trying to play a bit more defensively, maybe defending B flag on domination, I mean, then you might want to be using some burst guns and something with a bit more accuracy of a long range. So this gun, it doesn't really fit in brilliantly, but you have to try and make it. Basically, it's one of the more versatile guns, and it's pretty much unbeatable over mid-range. I mean, if you're in a 1v1 situation against someone who's, you know, mid-range and they're using whatever, I mean, you're going to beat them most of the time with this AK-47. And this was a pretty respectable game with it. I thought it rather well. I thought I represented it rather well, and I went 37-2, which is not too bad considering my support didn't really do a lot. And their support isn't as prevalent in this game. So there you are. I hope I gave you a good representation of the game. Hope you're enjoying it. And like I said before, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. And I'll be uploading another video later on today. So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Alright, peace.